Before we get started on the agenda, I just wanted to introduce our new attorney in the office, Dylan Conrad. I brought him along to show him how my municipal meetings work. So I ask that you all be on your best behavior and make Mount Union look like the great community that it is. So I just want to introduce you. So these are all the council, the mayor, and all of the citizens that usually attend the meeting. The police department, 2 members are back there. So I appreciate you all giving him a welcome during this process. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna start off this evening with the police. Oh, sorry, not yet. Don't speak yet. Go ahead, Taylor.
Jenny,
Here.
Marley, Steve,
Here.
Ron, Cheryl,
Here.
Sharon, Jen, Nathan,
Here.
Mike, Tim.
You good, Taylor? Yeah. Gentlemen, floor is yours.
So we're gonna start with the police grant, just kind of an overview of how everything actually works with it, because I know some people don't fully understand how it completely works. So I do a lot of in-depth stuff with the grant and like kind of give you a rundown of how it works. So once you apply for the grant, you have to submit with the grant application what vehicle you're looking to get and how much you want the grant to finance. So you can put an amount in there, and then the grant will come back and tell you exactly how much they're willing to finance. So the most you can get is 100 to 150,000. The least you'll get is 50,000. But you can put in there, so say the car costs 70,000, you can request the full 70. Now the grant people can come back and say, no, we're only gonna give you 60. So then you have to pay the difference on that. I know that you guys have seen the Tahoe grant now in front of, I believe Taylor has it. It's a grant for a Durango. So the prices are different, like by $20,000 difference. However, the reason they're different is the Durangos have more issues. And so I work part-time in Milroy, and we have Durangos out there. My Durango has been in the garage 3 times in 3 months. Both for radiator hose blowing off and the AC compressor going out. So while it is a cheaper option, and it may financially be better to go with that, it can also hurt you in the long run financially having to replace it. The Tahoe has never been in the garage for a major issue, and we've had that one now for 5 years. So yes, you pay more for the Tahoe, but you get better quality. So there's 2 grants that you guys have. Well, 1 grant, but 2 cars that you guys can submit to the grant, the Durango and the Tahoe.
I don't think we all have it.
She can.
I'll give them all
She can make
copies.
copies of all those. I only brought 1 because she's the one that does the grant as well. But you guys all had seen the Tahoe one, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Over time, it's only when they pick it up.
Does anybody have any questions? I mean, as far as like the grant as well,
Are you wanting us to vote right now or do it when it's on the agenda in the order that it's in? I don't know.
that's entirely up to you guys. But I know to even start the grant process, one has to be submitted for it, and it takes a couple months to even get it started. And then once they build the car, like I know there was some concerns about having to put the money up front. If you do it correctly and you get the process started, by the time that the car gets built and it's ready to be picked up, you guys could already have the funds for the grant, and you wouldn't have to pay such a large amount up front.
I'm confused.
But you guys
Are you doing 1 or 2?
One,
1, and
But-
that's for the,
I put
So
the Tahoe is what we wanted first, and there was some concerns about how much it cost.
Oh,
So
okay.
then I went and did another one
For
for
the
the
Durango.
Durango to show the price difference.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'll make copies and.
I
But-
think at least council could generally authorize that we move forward with the grant application, but then they're gonna have to determine which
Which vehicle
price
to
is
go with.
better for
Yeah.
council. So that has to be part of our agenda at some point formally.
Well, are you open to input about the application itself?
Yeah, like, what do you mean?
Well,
Like-
I'll explain. I was looking at your application, and you did a great job, so please know that I believe that. But I was thinking about how our comprehensive plan data might help you with the application. And so I pulled a few of the details out of our comp plan, like the fact that our census has gone from the high in the 1950s down to 2,300 people in 2020. But more importantly, I put in that our median household income in Mount Union is only an average of 38,382. This is.
Yeah, all those numbers can be adjusted. I just had to put something in there.
No, but
to
I'm
fill
saying,
it.
I just want to know, do you want this so you can put it in your application?
Well, it'll be for Taylor, so for me to, cause she submits the final one, but I had to
didn't
put
wanna
something in there to give her.
assume Without asking.
No,
but if
so
you
Taylor's
want
the
that-
one that submits the final grant application and everything, so
I'll
that'll
give it
all
to
go
her.
for her.
Okay, very good. And the only other question I had is, if you apply for the application, you file, and then you get a response back months later, it probably takes quite some time to prepare the vehicle for delivery.
So it all depends on, who you go through. So, this company, Utilitac, is actually in Pennsylvania. It's in Ridgeway, Pennsylvania, which is about an hour and 45 minutes away from here. So it's the closest, and they service multiple centralized PA police departments. So they actually have vehicles that are ready to start being outfitted. They already have them there on their lot. They just have to start outfitting them.
With
So-
all the things that you have.
Yep, with the lights, the sirens, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take near as long, but it still takes a few months for them to outfit everything and tell them it's ready to be picked up.
And so it would likely be, I mean, this is May, we're looking at probably wouldn't, if it all happened, and if it was all approved, it wouldn't be in probably till end of the year, close to the new year.
Probably. So I would probably say, like, say hypothetically, you guys approve next month to move forward, you pick the vehicle, and we submit everything to them. I'd probably say late November, late December is by the time they would be like, hey, your car is gonna start finishing up here for you guys to pick it up.
Thank you.
I think there's some idea that, or suggestion that there be a motion to authorize seeking the grant. Taylor indicates to me that it's gonna take her a while to get the grant done, so the next meeting you can decide which of the two vehicles best suits the borough's needs, but we can get a head start then on it.
I can do the background and then once they pick the car.
So someone would wanna make a motion to authorize.
I'll make the motion to authorize moving forward. I'll second the motion, and I think they did give us a lot of information on the 22nd whenever we met with them, so I'll second the motion.
Any other discussion on it? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstained? Motion carried to apply for the grant.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else on tonight's? Anything
No,
else you
unless
wanted
there's
to
any
discuss?
questions
Any
that I think is
questions?
addressed.
Any questions for the police while they're here? Well, thank you for your time. We appreciate you coming and look forward to seeing you guys going forward at the council meetings.
Awesome, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Ryan? Hey Brian, how are you?
Good. So, hopefully you all have my engineer's report for the month. Just kind of get down through at least a couple of the top items there. At the last, borough meeting, we discussed a couple of grant opportunities. Let me talk about the first one here. The Riverside Park bathroom, the DCNR GTRP grant application. We went through and we did an estimate. I will give one caveat, I did forward, an estimate. We did have a further discussion, I actually spoke with Aaron about some of the connections. And we had some costs initially in the one that I had sent to you all related to grinder pumps and things of that nature. Aaron brought to my attention that, it looks like the location is probably more likely to be, we were thinking in the park more. And I think there was some plans for it to be placed in that newer parking lot on the left-hand side. So I wasn't aware of that initially, so that actually cuts your utility, the connection costs down substantially. So, which is good because that gives me a better number for me to talk to you all about. So, it looks like with that connection, we look like the maximum grant is $250,000, and that's what you can apply for, and you needed the 15% minimum as your cash match. So our actual construction estimate is $255,500, slightly above the total grant, but really very close. Engineering, that's an automatic 10% that goes into the grant. We can talk about it if you get your grant, what that number would actually look like, but we assume the 10% for that, and then we put a 5% contingency. So the overall project cost would be $294,000. And that's slightly above the 15% share. So your share for that would be $44,000. And again, that's what you're gonna put in for a grant if you agree. The 15% would be $37,500, so you're at $44,000. So pretty close to that number, but slightly above. So, and let me talk to you a little bit also about what that cost estimate would provide you. So because of cost to bid the project, if you were to go that route, with historic numbers and some recent projects that we've done that were similar, that would be a CMU block wall construction. It's a single unisex bathroom. It's not a separate male and female, and it also does not have a shower. It's simply a unisex bathroom and a utility closet that has some equipment in it, and you could be able to store cleaning supplies and related items. And it would have a metal roof. So very simple. And then there'd be a connection over to Division Street with the water and sewer. So that's what that would give you at that price.
Brian, can I ask a question? Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Is that excluding what we just talked about, like, you're taking away the grinder
I
pumps?
took away the grinder pump, the pressure line, and the shortened up water supply.
Okay.
So I just did that updated here, so that takes those out of because that's about $50,000 if we would have to do that. So able to pull that back out, put it in a location that's a little bit more efficient for you.
So Brian,
Yes, ma'am.
you mentioned that if the bathroom was put within the park, it'd cost more. Is that $50,000 more you're talking about?
Yes, because at that point, you have elevation issues and you have a greater distance. So you need a grinder pump, you need a pressure line, you need a longer service line.
So then this would be, this would then be taking away some of the parking lot.
We would build it along the side, outside of the limits of the parking lot. It wouldn't take the parking lot away.
Where would it be then?
Right along the edge.
Probably more than likely by that telephone pole, it's like the telephone pole's kind of dead center in that parking lot, kind of up against that pole towards the street, and the whole parking lot be open behind it.
And how would there be a way for handicapped people to get there? That's one of the keys to having a restroom.
Yes.
There would be, okay,
It would be ADA compliant.
to the street, so that they do get, okay.
And could we put like stainless steel stuff in there so it's not like easily vandalized?
Yes, and I think our estimate at this point is a budget level, higher level number, we can certainly talk about a lot of those details, and that definitely is a concern, so that's something that I think we should look at. So if you were to agree to move forward, there is a resolution that's in the GTRP application, I think Taylor, you have that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to clarify, you're saying we may not get 250,000 if we apply,
You,
we may not get anything, but
right, I mean, I think it would depend on what they were allocating to you, and then you have to make a decision on whether
You
that's
wanna do
something
it.
you wanted to move forward with. But what you would be doing in this case would be applying for the full $250,000, and you'd have above the 15% minimum to make the project work. Now, keep in mind, this is a budget number, an actual bid is gonna come in the way it's gonna come in. So, it could be higher, it could be lower.
but it's a good faith estimate, is your point.
It's a good faith estimate based upon past history. We just recently built another one that was similar to it, so we have some numbers as well.
Now, say that we get the grant, whatever, we decide to apply, move forward, and we realize we can't come up with the 44,000. We can back out and send the fund, like, what does that process look like after, if we decide that this just,
Typically, you have to show proof that you, right?
is that how it
I
goes?
believe
Yeah,
so.
you have to show proof that you have the match,
Okay,
or can get the match.
Incoming or
Does
whatever.
this one have in-kind match?
Not, I mean, it was like a gray area, wasn't it?
To answer that question, it is a bit of a gray area because there was some discussion about potentially, having the grant buy materials only. We did talk to the grant administrator, and it was a bit of a, not a direct response. The preference by the grant, agency was that it was through a bid process. But they did give the possibility that if you wanted to attempt that alternate route, you would have to provide, information and qualifications for who was providing the donated labor. And you would have to do that and get their approval prior to submission of the grant, which is May 31st. So they did leave it open. To be honest with you, they did not sound supportive of that, which makes that harder for them to give you a grant. But it is a potential possibility. If the council decides to go that direction, there's a potential for that mechanism if you choose that.
So this is the first time applying for this grant,
First time for this related to the bathroom.
for this particular grant.
You used the GTRP application previously for Given Park, and you were not successful.
So now we're doing the bathroom with the same grant.
We're gonna try.
The application, yes.
That's what I'm talking about. So that negates, the park, Gibbons.
No.
No, Taylor, you have some more information.
Well, I just was gonna say, I would not have a problem calling them, asking them what kind of proof they want for the match.
Well, that's what you do.
You know what I mean? And that might change your mind on if you wanna apply or not, but the application is due at the end of the month too. You kinda have to make a decision. Or have a special meeting.
Yeah, this one came about much quicker than
Yeah.
the other one, so you don't have a lot of time, but you certainly can make that decision. You could potentially pass your resolution and still work with the grant administrator, and there's a potential that you could come back with a special meeting if you had to amend it.
How hard is it, how hard do you think it would be for
fund a lot of different projects. Mount Union has shown that you can get grants and you can carry them out and deliver them. So I think that goes to your benefit. I think it also would help as you talk to your legislators to get their support. So I give you a lot to ponder.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a special meeting to, I know, we all feel the same, Joan. But for us all to kind of digest what you just went over, it's a big decision, it's a lot of money. Unless someone completely lowball bids it, you know, Dwight's been wanting a bathroom forever, maybe he'll come in and bid it at 100,000, you know?
Absolutely.
That would be pretty generous. Just saying, you know, there's always options, things could happen, but we may need to have a special meeting. Yeah,
Yeah, Mayor said, why not get the Huntington County VOTEC Building and Maintenance to put the bathrooms in?
Is that what they do?
But they have to have something to do up there.
Oh, they do it, my cousin works up there,
Yeah,
they
but-
don't actually do that.
yeah, these are things we can talk about during the special meeting, but thank you for bringing up the idea, we appreciate it. But I think we'll table this discussion and discuss it during the special meeting, Ryan, and get back to you ASAP.
Absolutely, and Taylor and I will continue our conversations about that and, further conversation with the grant agency. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Next item is the other one that we talked about that you authorized us to start moving forward with an application, working with Taylor on, is the Bricktown Unity Trail, a portion of that, DCED Multimodal Transportation Fund. Just as a reminder, that has been submitted several times to a different program, and that included upgrades to the sidewalk on the Bricktown Unity Trail from Riverside Park up through past the school, up to Divon Park. And that would include replacing approximately 10% of the sidewalk, filling in any gaps, adding ADA accessibility, some drainage repairs, and some paving. At our last meeting, whenever you authorized me to look forward to working with Taylor on a grant, you asked us to include the area from Divon Park up to the linear park, essentially. So we'll be looking at getting updated costs associated with that, and I'll be able to come back to you with that moving forward at a future time. The application is due July 31st, so there's a little bit of time. We're working through with those details as well. Everything else?
Can you have that to us by the next meeting, so we have, or is that gonna be delayed till July?
I'll do my best to have it to you for your next meeting.
Okay.
Absolutely. I understand that you need some time to deliberate.
So this is linear park to,
The whole way to
The whole way to
Riverside
Riverside.
is what we're
Okay.
looking at. I wanna see where the numbers fall, and then we can have a discussion on if you wanna shorten it to make your application more desirable.
Okay,
So we'll work on some of those details together once we have some numbers,
thank you.
okay? Everything else, on my update is reminders as much as anything. So any questions on anything else, I'm certainly here.
Oh, I did have a question about the CDBG grant relative to Divon Park, and that is, does it require a match? No. And when do we have to apply for that? What's the deadline for that?
You don't have to apply, it was leftover funding.
Oh, this is all funded with leftover funding,
Yeah.
or would be?
Yeah, and it'll probably start next year, maybe. How far are we behind that?
The timing on that was, a question for me, so you were having maybe some more discussions with maybe Jen Bellis?
Yeah, she hasn't called me back since
Okay.
our last conversation,
Okay.
but she definitely said she has funds that she needs to use.
Yeah, so whatever she's able to provide, I'm sure you're more than willing to accept, so. And that would generally be for athletic, surface and nets, to make the Divon Park area that we previously had done the work, make that fully functional. Larry?
It's 26 now, I mean, we all know it's 2026, but if you're spending money from like before, like they're always behind, so when you apply for 26 funding, you're not gonna get to spend it until 28 or 29, so these are funds where other communities just haven't come through with what they need, and we can grab them quickly in order that they can spend them rather than send them back. So that's what's going on.
And it's helpful because, we've had ongoing discussions with Huntington County, and they know what your needs are, and anytime there's funding that's potentially frees up, then there's a discussion, and that's what this is coming from.
And I think it's important to note, and the press is here, that people say Manheim gets nothing done, and we're just down here arguing with one another. We spend a lot of money that is offered from the government, and we do it well, and the Office of Planning in Huntington knows that, so they can trust us. So I just think it needs to be stated that we do a good job of maximizing our potential getting those funds. People say that that's not true, but it is true, and you know that's true.
Absolutely.
We
well
have a
said.
$4 million wall to prove it, so.
Absolutely, well said, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Anything else?
At the bottom here, it says stormwater management ordinance. Committee is reviewing draft ordinance. Does that mean,
I think we tried to get a meeting together and it just never worked out. I think we need to do some more work to get another meeting and get that back off the dead center.
So it sounds like we need a committee who's gonna volunteer and actually then go to the meeting and make the progress.
Yes, you had some transitions, some changeovers, so, bring your committee together and our staff will be able to meet with you and get that finalized.
so is that I wanted to clarify, is that the ordinance, the borough ordinance committee? Or is that,
That's up to council.
I thought that was the stormwater.
I don't know why it wouldn't be,
Oh.
but it just didn't go anywhere.
I know that the last time we met, it was myself and he, and you all.
Oh, was that long ago?
It was that long.
Oh my gosh.
So,
George Darrell.
Oh, yeah, George was there.
I'm just looking for clarity, is it the borough ordinance committee?
It's whatever we decide.
Could be.
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
It's for an ordinance,
Yeah,
correct?
it's for
Yeah.
ordinance.
I'm just telling you, it's long and it's technical, so there's people who volunteer. I think it would, an ad hoc committee in this case makes sense because of the nature of what's being done. That people have an interest in that or have some knowledge in it, our engineers can guide us through it and make a better decision. Like, just giving it to the ordinance committee and expect that they understand it. I just respectfully don't think that's gonna happen. I read it and I was one of the.
Right, I have one more question.
Wasn't it about done? You guys
We have a
towards
working
the end,
draft.
right?
We do.
I think it needed some response on,
But it's like 15
would you like to show it this way, would you like to show it that way? I think that's where we were at. So some decisions from the borough.
One more question. That Chestnut Terrace retaining wall, has it been any movement?
I don't, to be honest with you, I haven't been out that direction, I
They
don't know if
moved
they
the
started.
utilities.
Okay.
Yeah, they did utilities. So
I've
I'm
asked for,
assuming,
I've asked for an update from their engineer, I haven't gotten anything further since. So it sounds like they may have just
Yeah.
done some utilities.
they've been doing that, well, it's shut down this week. I think it ended about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks, that they haven't been out, utilities must be done or
Okay.
pause for the moment.
I can reconnect with them again and see if I can get more information. If I do, I'll pass it along. Okay?
So do you think it's a good idea that anyone who wants to volunteer to be on the stormwater ordinance ad hoc committee, who should we,
I have the contacts,
so just contact Taylor?
Taylor.
Okay.
So if you're interested, call Taylor, email Taylor.
Okay.
We'll get you a
Anything else?
committee.
Okay.
All right.
Very good, let's
Thank
go. Anything else?
Thank you, no.
All right, taking up enough of your time. Have a good evening.
You too, thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna kinda go a little out of order here and let Fire go. He had something he needed to go to, so
Much appreciated.
floor is yours.
Sorry I wasn't here last month, I worked engagement up there. This month's report, we had total 28 calls, dispatch canceled Route 7, alarms general, like fire alarms going off people's houses. Taylor Apartments was 6, medical assist 4, brush fire 3, motor vehicle accident with injuries was 2, LZ detail down at the high school was 2, building fires 2, outside fire 1, motor vehicle accident with no injuries was 1. Mount Union Borough had 12 of those calls. Wayne Township had 8, Shirley Township at 5, Alexandria Borough 1, Shirleysburg 1, and Union Township 1. Average manpower is at 8. Average response time was 5 minutes 31 seconds. We actually just took in 2 new members. We have 6 new members now. 4 of them are currently in training to get their mods so they can be interior firefighters. I'd like to offer Borough Council, we are having a CPR class on May 16th from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. It'll be no cost to you. You can join in with some of our members, take CPR, then they'll show you around up on the ambulance side. Like I said, I wasn't here last month. For the council members that came to our banquet, it was very, very much appreciated. It was a nice setup. It was a nice time for everybody. The Legion donated their facility for us to use, which was nice. We got a grant from the state. We were approved for it. It was a little over $12,000, which went to purchase new hose out there. New piece people were asking questions about. It just came back from McCartney's RV. It was painted. It has to be sent away and stenciled. That's going to be our new rescue when it comes back. $549,000 is a lot better than $1.3 million. And it's going to serve this borough, the community, for some time. Also, with that said, we purchased recently, our other unit is now a special unit, looks like a pickup truck almost, which will be used on medical calls and stuff. We recently purchased what is called a combo tool for vehicle accidents. It's battery powered. It was $13,000. We're all one here. The ambulance put in their part. They said it was a little over $13,000 for this. They gave half of it. The other half came from our online raffles we do. With that being said, also, it does come with forcible entry tips. If the law enforcement needs to use it, they can use it as well.
Excuse me, I don't know what it is. What does it do? Forget my
If you're in a motor vehicle accident or something, if you're in a motor vehicle accident, and you're saying you're trapped in there, your door, you're pinned in, it's battery powered, you cut. It's something new that everybody's starting to go to. They call it hydraulics because it's battery powered. And they're not cheap, that's the thing, but it's something new to this area, and it's gonna benefit us. Everybody knows how short-staffed everywhere is. When we get this other piece in, this will go in there, so if somebody can't drive the bigger apparatus, we have this on there to get started and everything. The other thing is, I'm sure you've heard the rumor around, the fire company would like to have a block party. That's about 2 years from now, because we wanna get everything planned, but give you a heads up. We know we're gonna have to go through permits and that, but we want to get more community oriented and stuff, so that's something we want to get into. The other thing is, I can't stress enough, transparency. We have anything you want to know about the fire company, we will tell you, from finances to our meeting, everything. We can let you know anything you want to know. That's part of us. Transparency is the key. All right, I mean, it makes a lot of people happy when they say, hey, where's all this money going to? We can show you on paper, show you an audit, whatever you need, we can show you. The other thing we're trying to do is we're working and revising our company bylaws. We need to keep up with the times. Since you guys provide workers' comp and everything to us, we need to have trained line officers and trained firemen. So we have a lot of training up there posted. We have to pay for that out of our own money, which is fine. We have no problem doing that, and Fireman's Relief also takes care of it. What I'm getting into is, if we don't have trained officers and something happens, it falls on you guys. So we're trying to revitalize our bylaws and everything to get with the times and stuff. And it's imperative, because we want to have trained firefighters out there that can give a professional service. All right? Other than that, that's it. I appreciate everything you guys do for us and stuff. And any questions for me?
No, but I just wanted to let you know that, I did submit on behalf of the municipal authority a grant for the fire hydrants.
Yep. Thank you.
So I'll keep you updated when we find out.
And I appreciate it. Like I said, anybody who's helped with that, room wasn't built in a day. Even if it's just a couple of years, it's much appreciated. It really is. It shows the community, our customers, your customers, that we care about this place. And that's all I have, unless there's any other questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I may make a little racket, just putting things away. I'm sorry. Thanks again for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, have a good night.
Yep.
Kathy?
as y'all know, my name's Kathy Wilson. I am putting together a 250th Carnival Festival for the community, and it is coming together really, really well this time. While Brian was talking tonight, I had a drink vendor reach out to me. That's gonna be coming to the Carnival now. The Carnival is June 4th, 5th, and 6th, in case you don't know. And, we got the insurance taken care of, we've got the certificates, we've got the contract, we've got everything done. We got Peggy and Bragnick coming Saturday to talk, and after she's done, we've got music coming. So we have someone coming to perform. Yep, we've got plenty of vendors, most of them are going to do the 3-day carnival, but we have some that are just gonna do this Saturday afternoon. We will be giving away free cake that will be decorated in the 250th, motif, so, the only thing we have is, we're putting together some gift baskets. If anyone has anything they'd like to donate, please reach out to me and let me know. I can meet with you for that. I'm going to need some volunteers for Saturday afternoon, approximately 10 to 15. Cause we have the car cruise coming for Saturday, and, we'll need some for that, and we'll need some down in the park, like to hand out cake and help direct people and whatever. So it won't be all day, just a few hours, Saturday. Other than that, we're still receiving donations. We still haven't received enough to cover all the costs, but we're getting there. Any questions, anything anyone has? I mean, it's really come together well, we got a lot of vendors. Did you say June 4th, 6th? June 4th, 5th, and Well, 6th. that's not far away, No, this time next month, we'll have a carnival set up. So.
You're still standing upright, Kathy, so you must be doing a good job, right?
That's okay, that's Saturday off of drinking.
Right?
Hey, you in there.
Alright, so yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, yeah. Anyone needs anything, reach out, let me know. And of course, you know, we have a Facebook page, the 250th, not me, 250th planning group. If anyone needs anything, reach out to me. Okay, any questions or anything, just reach out. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wendy?
Hi, I'm Wendy Muckle. I had an incident that happened, that occurred on April 15th out in the ball field. The cops were called while me and my son were sitting on the bleacher, waiting for my, nephew to start playing his game, and the cops showed up. After two boys come over and asked my son for the bat that my son didn't have. Then Donnie Fortson come over and pointed at my son and went like this to my son to come here, and I said, no, my son didn't have to go to him. He's talking to my kid. We were sitting there, and after that, the cops showed up. The cop come over and questioned me to come down off the bleacher. I got down. He told us to come over. He said, where's your son Davian? I said, right there, and pointed at my son on the bleacher. My son come down. And we went over into the parking lot, and the officer, which was Officer Inch, come out of the dugout. And he come over, didn't even ask any questions, asked my son, where's the ball back? My son said he didn't know. Well, it started out that supposedly 2 kids in the dugout said my son stole the ball bat and had no evidence. They asked me where the ball bat was. I had no clue. My son left with my sister that day and went to the ball field to help coach because he helps with the little kids on the field. And my sister said he was in the batting cage with my nephew, playing ball. Where'd my son have time to be in the dugout stealing a bat? So I tried to tell the officers that my son didn't steal this bat, that I had no clue about this bat. I knew about a bat that was traded with my son on a Saturday, which is opening day for the ball season. And we got called liars. Told us to get in the effing car and leave, that we didn't belong there because my son didn't play. The officers literally put their hands on my kid, swore at me and my son both in the parking lot, yelling, said that that we didn't belong there, my son didn't play there no more, that we didn't have to be there. And I said, well, my family plays here, I come down here all the time, my son's there every day, helping. Little league, coaching, whatever he can do, he's already been down there cleaning up trash for a cleanup day. I wanna know, I've contacted Tim, the mayor, no response. I put in a formal complaint against the cops. I requested to review the cameras, that was denied. I today filed a file request. I requested to watch the video because I got a letter from the Mount Union Borough and from the Mount Union Police Department, signed by the mayor, that he had reviewed the cameras and didn't feel that the cops were in any wrong. So, at this point, my son is depressed because the ball field is his life, because that's what he does. He does sports. I never got a contact number back, so I contacted Jenny, and I let her know that I've done all this. She told me to contact the grandmother, which I did. I contacted Karen, the kid's grandmother that supposedly he stole this bat from. And the grandma said that he didn't have a bat. She wasn't aware of no bat. That she said that she seen a bat in his book bag, but she thought it was the one that they told him that he couldn't use. So she wasn't even aware of the cops even being down at the ball field over a bat for her grandson. The cops never contacted her to even do an investigation with her kid. My son asked the cop to bring him out to talk to him, and the cop said no, he was not needed to be out there. I feel this was unfair to me and my son. I didn't do nothing wrong. My son didn't do nothing wrong. I asked for a request of, the incident report. I want to know what the incident report was, who called, why they called. This is false accusations. I literally had to leave the ball field, go to my house on Maxwell Street, get the ball bag out of my son's book bag, and bring it back down to the cops. So if he stole that bat that day, how did he get to Maxwell when we were sitting on the bleachers the whole time?
Larry, I think, first off, this is an active investigation. I see things differently from the camera that I saw. Would it be good to have the safety committee oversee this?
Well, first of all, if she filed a complaint against the police department, we have to have a process for analyzing whether or not our police.
We did. It was
and, who did that? That needs to be part of, I think the safety committee at the very least, and Taylor needs to sit on it. So we always have a responsibility to answer the question, did we do something wrong? And then if she requests formally for certain records through the open records law, we'll analyze them accordingly and give what we can and keep what we have to keep. Because certain things can't be released in an active investigation. We'll follow the law and do our best to give her what she's requested within the dictates of the law. And in the meantime, we do have to have the borough be responsible when we get a complaint to do an investigation and determine whether or not we need to make changes or do something or how we're gonna respond. Every constituent in our community deserves that kind of treatment. That's a different, that's a third.
Excuse me, the point is that she got trespassed for absolutely no reason at all. She didn't do anything wrong, even if it was a bad ball bat, they still didn't have the right to trespass her. Especially if you're using longer onions or whatever, when the cops are standing there swearing at her too. I mean, it's a freedom of speech, I mean, who's to say what a swear word is? The point is, you know what I mean, her or my son should be trespassed for that. Regardless.
We're not in a position to debate the merits and whether your claim is accurate or not, we're not doing that in a public
That's
meeting.
not what I'm doing.
Right, and so we understand what you're saying, and the safety committee and borough staff will look at it and get back to you promptly with what their findings were in this regard. They have to interview talk with the officers and go through that process. So, and then we can determine what, if any, remedial measures need to be taken based upon what we find to be true. We just have to do our due diligence in this, we have to figure it out.
So the point being is they're just trespassed just because somebody says so, whether it be anything to do with the investigation or not. You know what I mean, what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with the law, right? That's just something that comes from something else that's sent, you know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying.
And we are going to, if I'm understanding Larry correctly,
I understand what you're
this,
saying.
yeah, the safety committee, like at this point, we have to follow certain protocol so that we're not interfering with an active investigation, because we're not allowed to do that either, even though we're counsel, we can't step into an active investigation.
I understand that, then the police should be trespassed too for doing the same thing in front of all the kids standing there swearing, yelling, screaming, telling my son to get out of the car, you know what I mean, in his face, yelling and screaming. So they should be trespassed also, they should be allowed down there until the investigation's over either.
Right.
I mean, it should make sense both ways.
Well, that's impractical, they're law
They're
enforcement
law
officials, and they're in part of the embodiment of the borough doing its job, so in the end, if they're wrong, we'll have to take action versus vis-a-vis the police department. If we believe that, or if the safety committee and staff believes that the evidence doesn't support your complaint, then they'll report that back to you, so that's how the process works, and if your claims are substantiated, then they'll have to make a decision on what they're gonna do about it.
Well, my question, or my problem is they threw me out for no reason, like I didn't do anything. I was literally sitting on the bleacher waiting for my nephew's game to start. So what was the reason for them to even throw me out? I didn't do nothing.
Because I
Keep
don't
standing
know
there,
what the police
just
are
being there
saying.
for my underage son.
And like I said, there's no use engaging in a long debate because we can't reach a decision on this.
Right.
Wendy,
Yeah.
2 questions. The age of your son and which officers were there?
All 4 of them,
All 4.
all 4 of them,
And your son is how old?
17.
Plus he's
He's
handicapped.
not one.
And he's disabled.
Not him?
No, not him.
And he's disabled?
And he's disabled.
Ma'am, I'm chair of, safety committee, so I will look into it.
And I hope you follow it up.
It just upsets me because my son loves that ball field. And that's, I mean, he's literally wanting to go down there every day.
Who trespassed him? Who said he can't go there?
The cop, the borough.
It was, let me clarify before things, it's not the borough. We were asked, as a borough, me in particular, to sign a letter from the police stating that Wendy and her son were not allowed at the ball field until the active investigation was settled. So let me clarify,
It's not permanent.
right, there's an
Well,
investigation.
there's no time limit on it. He's
'Cause-
telling me forever, so.
Right, until the investigation's completed and we do all of our things, at this point, Wendy, we will get back to you, it will be done promptly, like Larry said, so hopefully you'll hear from us sooner than later.
Yeah, because like I said, I found that thing today about the right to know, and that's because I had the right to know why we were kicked out. I mean, the cops were called supposedly for the stolen bat. Well, the bat wasn't stolen.
That is
Yeah.
the reason she was.
Yeah.
So,
Again, give us the time to review it and do our part. It would be unfair to us to make any judgment on your part or their part when we're really just the middleman. So give us the benefit of the doubt to look into it and see what we can do, and we will get back to you.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Any other guests? Mark?
My name is Mark House. This is about code. I bought a permit off you as a moving trailer. Well, when my sister did, well, we went up to get the paperwork, up at Vista View like they're supposed to go through, which is saying you have to go through to get. They gave us all the wrong paperwork. All that paperwork they gave us was wrong. I didn't need nothing to move the trailer, you just gave me the permit to move the trailer here. But Jim sent up my sister up to get this paperwork, and they told her she couldn't move that trailer until all this stuff was done here. Well, so that permit's expired, so I come up the other day, they made me buy another permit for half the price of the original permit. But it wasn't my fault, because they gave my sister the wrong stuff and told her the wrong thing the whole time. The trailer could have moved day one, when I got the permit off the owner. But when she went up, to come up there and talk to Taylor, they told her she had to go steal the code.
Not to me.
Or the other, Tristan, whoever. They still told her she had to go to code, so she went up to code, me and my sister went up. They gave her all this paperwork, they gave her this right here first. This is when the trailer's supposed to be done. They gave this to her first. You gotta complete this before the trailer, you can get your occupancy to move in it. So it was the wrong paper they gave her.
When you say you went to code, what does that mean? You
With
went.
Vista View, you gotta go through, you gotta
Oh,
go.
Bureau Veritas.
Okay.
Okay, now, my apologies, I wasn't,
That's
I thought
code.
you meant Alec. Yeah,
No,
okay.
no.
I didn't know what you meant.
Well, anyhow, so up there, they gave my sister all the wrong paperwork the whole time, on all this. So I went up, and
Okay.
then they gave me the right paperwork, cause I asked them, I said, wait a minute, you're just doing this backwards. Cause I put one there down for my mother-in-law right beside me, and I didn't have to do none of this. But they gave it to her all wrong, so I had to come up and buy another permit, just, yesterday, I was telling Jenny, there's people around me put in, and I put in a new patio out behind my house, and I had to get a permit. Cost me, I forget. So Tristan and Allie come to my house, and they told me I had to get a permit. They're looking at my house now, this permit, how long they been there, Jenny? So, in the meantime, I'm looking around, they're telling me any structure gotta be, so I look and I said, did that guy right there get a permit? No. I said, did that guy down there get a permit? No. Did that one over there get one? No. Did he get one to put that driveway? Jenny see them all. Asked her. There's 5 or 6 of them, but I had to get one. Why do I have to get them when the rest of them don't? Can I ask you that question?
Mark, could you tell me the amount of that you paid?
They paid, the first one I had to pay $150, they made me pay half of this time, of $75.
And then you had to pay an additional 75.
Plus, they had to pay extra, I had to pay $400 to get an application before all this. There's more cost to it than just this.
Well,
You don't realize there's a lot of cost to it,
Well,
and
can
as I said, well, they moved the trailer. So I had a contractor in there do all the plumbing, all that stuff all over, put new drywall up. They moved that trailer, now if that drywall is cracked, who's responsible?
well, can you give us all the fees?
Who's
and bring-
responsible? Because it
Who's
should have
get all
been
the fees and
moved,
bring
it
them
should have been moved.
Wait, who moved the trailer? The borough didn't, right?
No.
Oh, some, your
No,
contractor.
no, yeah, but it should have been done on day one, I had to buy a new permit to move it. You understand what I mean?
Because it's a residential structure and people are gonna live in it, and under state law, it's the Uniform Construction Code. So the reason we don't have to do our patio over is because people are sitting on lawn chairs on the patio, it's not under the Uniform Construction Code. But because it's a house, when you move it in, you have to have certain inspections, and they use our representative, Bureau Veritas, is that who we have, charges to do those inspections, so you can then get an occupancy permit to live in the place. And there's a year limit, and because nothing happened in the whole year, you had to ask again to continue the original permit, and that's at half the cost, that's what the ordinance says.
No, but I'm saying for day one though, Mary, here's the problem, from day one, we went up and asked them. I asked the borough to move the trailer, right here, look.
Well, what took you over a year to come back?
They gave
Because
me,
they sent him to
they sent me
Veritas.
this right here, told me I had to finish all this.
Okay,
I had to do all that, so my sister
like,
signed it.
if it's,
I didn't do it, my sister did it, and then I went up.
and it's her
took
property,
over.
correct?
What's that?
It's her property, right?
Yeah.
So, and like if it was me, whatever your sister's name is, if it's Mary, and Mary's saying, hey, nothing's going on here, I better check with the borough to see what the process is. It's like, why did it take over a year to figure out that you didn't know what to do or how to handle it? And and so what is your complaint that you need us to address? What do you want us to do?
I'm not saying do anything, I'm just saying, the Veritas gave me the wrong paperwork to begin Again, they gave us the wrong paperwork. That's all I'm saying. When I come up to the borough, when I come up to the borough, they gave me, I had this, back when they gave it for years, see, back in 25, they gave it, right?
This is a zoning permit that says that a house on that lot is okay, so that's
Move.
separate. And now this one is the one that would be for bringing in the new mobile home, the application that you would fill out.
There's no application, this is not an application, this is to be done, this right here is to be done.
Correct.
Well,
Right.
they gave me this right here to move it, but this, I don't even need one to move it. This is the installer.
Well, you have to have one to show that you can live there.
And you gotta.
That's at the end.
And you
That's
gotta
at the
get-
finish, when it's all done, I'll get a
But
tag.
part of the
You gotta have a
process
permit
is
to
that
put
you
on
pay to have them come in and look at it. And you're right, at the end, they certify
I
that
put
it's
3 of them
happening.
in, I put 3 trailers in the mountain already, and I had to do that.
Well, I just wanted to understand so council knows what it is you would like council to do.
I'm just saying about the permits, I gotta keep buying permits, and these people that put these in these other structures don't have to buy a
Well,
permit
the
to work.
point is like.
That's all I'm
you-
saying, that's all
you
I'm
ha-
saying.
It's good
You
for
want money
you.
back?
So,
I'm just saying.
Here's my, can I tell you something?
Yes.
After you approached me the other evening, I don't know if it gives you any peace of mind. I took photos, I sent it straight to code,
Yeah.
after I spoke to you and told him X. These are things that are going on around us, that people are not getting permits, they're not paying for it, while you have others that are, not using your name, just saying that there are others that
I'm
are.
not even saying that, but I told him personally about people, the same ones, and he still don't do nothing to them.
I get that. I want you to know though, I sent it to him, he called me that evening, and we did discuss it. The one property he has been dealing with, and I believe others are getting now involved. I'm not gonna get into
I
detail because of the
understand.
privacy there.
I understand. But what are the quantities, so if don't get a permit, what happens? I mean.
And
What do
you
you
get a
want?
letter, and
Well,
you
all right,
get
what do you
double.
want? What do
And
you
you
want?
pay double.
And I will
mean,
say,
Okay, then here's the problem with that then, okay, so when the stone house caught on fire, I seen Taylor Stewart put in the paper. Did you,
No, man.
not Taylor, not,
Jeez, Mark, why you put my name in all
no,
of
the
that?
Stewart girl. The Stewart girl, Maria, what's her, the Stewart girl.
Who cares? What did she say?
Stan, put in the paper about, she wanted to get a permit, and they told her she can't start until she has a permit. Well, at the stone house, when the stone house caught on fire, I seen them in there tearing it down and never had a permit.
They got a
They
permit.
got one, you said they couldn't start until you
You
get a permit.
have to do that because it was structurally not safe.
Oh,
And then they came in to do
I'm
it.
not saying, what do you?
All,
I'm just trying to
all,
say.
and just,
It's
let me,
about
Mark,
permit. It's
Mark,
about
let me
permit.
finish my sentence.
It's not permit.
I will say, they have been sending letters out to
Alright,
give
well,
the
well,
borough.
So Mark,
they-
Mark, you want input, but you won't listen to the input.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
No,
telling
we're
you.
talking while she's trying to answer.
I can hear.
Okay, well,
Okay, go.
I'm just telling you that she has been sending letters out throughout the public for people who have not got a permit. If you start a project without a permit, you have to pay double the permit fee because you didn't get it before you started a project. And I can tell you, she sent out at least 10 letters, and trust me, I've dealt with the chaos from the letters. So it's happening. You're not getting targeted.
So what do you want, Mark?
No, nothing,
Come on now.
They said it can be done, I mean, nothing can be done, Ed said, well, they already told me.
There it is, say what, nothing.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on because
Yeah,
Mark
yeah.
doesn't know what he wants. If anything crosses your mind, Mark, you let us know, so we know, but we are putting what you're saying out there. All right, can we get, a motion to approve the consent agenda A through D?
I make a, motion that we, approve, consent agenda A through G with any, approval, any changes.
Okay, who wants the second? Ron second.
Huh?
Ron second.
Oh, okay, okay.
now any comment on?
Any comment?
Yes, I haven't seen a police report. I don't think it's appropriate for us to approve one when I don't have one.
Well, they just spoke about it again.
That's
No, I'm talking about the police
Tim?
report that Tim provides every month.
Yeah.
your police report.
Did you hand that? I didn't get it.
I didn't get it. Police report, not yet. hand it out. He's passing it down, it's coming, it's coming. Standing still.
One for one is done.
I am happy to give you the presidency, Jaren, whenever you want it.
Well, they ain't gonna have me, and I don't want them.
Just saying. It's always open.
We wanna have a quick.
Okay. Are you good, Cheryl? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All in favor? Hey, can you guys pay attention? All in favor? All opposed? All sustained?
Abstain.
Abstained, sorry. Motion carries. Okay, thank you. Taylor, do you wanna go over the Water Street one-way update, please?
So I have been in contact with, his name's Ernie at PennDOT. He ran me down a list of items that I would need to give him an answer for to decide, or to put into a letter for them to decide if they will come down here to do a traffic study to see if that road can even be, changed to one-way. And the first question he asked me was, how many accidents, because he was under the impression that it was hazardous, how many accidents have been in there. And I reached out to the police to get to him, and I just want you guys to know, in the last 6 years, you only had 3 hit and runs there. Which is obviously not backing our case. Now, do you want me to write the letter, send it to PennDOT, go through the process? You're not gonna be able to tell them that it's a hazard when you only had 3 hit and runs in 6 years. I need you to give me something to put in that letter for them to decide whether they wanna come down and do the traffic study. Because that wasn't.
For which street?
Water Street.
We've always talked about dropping the speed limit out by true value. Are they able to do a traffic study on that?
Well, that's not what I was talking about.
No,
I
I
was-
mean, when you do that, are you grouping this all together?
No. I only reached out about Water Street because it's been on the agenda for 2 years. So I was like, I'll just take care of it. So I need an answer, and if you guys want me to write the letter, if you do want me to write the letter, what are the points that you want me to get to them?
Okay, so I have an understanding, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, that, or the safety committee, whoever is the right people, that a road has to be so wide, so many feet wide, in order for it to be two-way, plus people permitted to park not on the curb.
Hello.
Is that of sufficient width for that all to occur? A car parked there and 2 vehicles to pass at the same time?
I don't know, that's.
So,
That would be
is
lit.
that something your officers could figure out, because that would help her
I can put that in the
request?
letter.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
So,
that's a very good point, because that's also a state route, correct?
That's why I'm talking to PennDOT.
that's, yes, it's a state route, so that's why she's in touch with PennDOT. So is that something you can get your officers to do, or do you need somebody else to do it?
No, we can do that,
You're gonna handle it?
yeah.
Patrick?
Yeah, there's other routes that you don't gotta say it's a hazard, just an operational improvement, you could say.
That's what I'm saying, I just need them to tell me what they
Yeah,
want
so
to put.
you could just say emphasize the parking, emphasize the traffic flows would be better that way, and that'd be enough.
That's not, I'm,
Improved parking and traffic flow?
Yeah, say
That's
improved
sufficient to
parking
get a
and,
survey?
flow of traffic will be better, right
I,
up that way.
I will say the first question that, cause I brought up parking to, the gentleman at PennDOT, and he asked me if that street offered off-road parking, which means parking behind the houses, and I'm like, yeah, I told, right. So that was a point that I already talked about making, but I need more to write in a letter than that, to get them to come down and do the study.
It's just, operational improvement is the key.
Okay, well, Tim's gonna look into it.
Yeah, because your off-road is not on the sidewalk.
so that's a vital point right there.
Okay, I was gonna say, I can send my husband down to do
Oh, yes,
Thank you.
Okay,
I'm trapped.
alright, cause each road's different.
You can
Anyway,
go.
alright, on to the next. Cheryl, the update on the stamp
Yeah, well,
for the
the first thing I
manager?
wanna say is while I was gone, I learned that it finally got approved and you got word and you got your Keystone login and did you sign the
I
document?
signed it,
Woo-hoo!
yes.
Finally, this was how many years, Joan, before my time?
Girl, don't get me started.
You and Wayne. Anyway, so it's all in motion, and so I asked Taylor, and she did, to copy, well, two things, let me go backwards. Job description. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was on the agenda. Stamp Phase 3 Borough Manager. That's what we're talking about. Oh, I didn't know I had to, okay. Anyway, in terms of a job description, I recommend that one eventually be done. However, we have a borough manager ordinance, which is essentially a job description. Now, a borough manager who takes the role may want to have a more detailed job description at some point, but I think that would be ideal for all of our positions. And so I don't want us to hold up our progress by recreating the wheel when we have the ordinance that lays out their job duties and qualifications and so forth. But the other thing that Taylor handed out is a draft of an advertisement. And so you have that in your hands. It should have been handed out.
I did.
It was there in the stack of stuff if you didn't get one.
I have one on everybody.
Okay, thank you. And so this is a standard job advertisement for a job opening. The only thing that would need to be filled in, or maybe you wanna review it first and you want a week or 10 days to get back to us, that's up to you, because it is 4 paragraphs. Is we would need to know, they can mail it to our address, but we need a email address. That's common practice when you're recruiting someone, is that they email the documents to you. It's not that common to mail in US mail anymore. So we need to decide to what email address that would go to, and who that designated person would be, because it's the recruiting committee that'll be managing it. And then we would need a deadline for submission, perhaps sometime in June. I would also recommend that we send this to DCED to get their approval first, since they're the ones who wanna monitor and participate in this process.
Andrew,
Those are my thoughts.
Well, I
Can I
thought
ask a question? I thought they would be.
Yes, so I talked to
meeting
Jake on
out.
Friday, and he said, wait till our meeting tonight, see what you guys decide, that we need a motion to advertise. But he said that we could call him, they already have an advertisement drafted, but we have to decide if we still want the applications to go to him.
That's right, we did say.
We did say it was gonna go to him.
So we need to change the address, well, he probably has that.
Yeah, and I just told
That
him
would
I would
be
follow
great.
up with him after tonight.
So all we need is the
So
motion to
motion
add.
to advertise.
And I make that motion immediately.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Did you say?
Yeah.
Oh, she's.
Oh,
okay.
she's an A? Everyone else good? Anyone sustaining from it? Abstaining? Motion carries.
I didn't know about that.
We already went over the police, so we're just gonna keep on moving there. The amusement tax ordinance update?
I'd like to point out that this is it's actually Skill Games where we're collecting permit fees. The ordinance committee made recommendations, Cheryl reviewed and made recommendations. I incorporated them all, into the ordinance that I passed out, so that's the latest iteration of where we stand. Alec had emailed me late today. His only observation is that maybe we've changed the date when it would start from several dates, but he thought maybe January 1st to 27th would be the best date to start collecting the permit fees, based on the fact that there'll have to be some administrative things set up. So Cheryl had recommended June, but we can't pass the ordinance till June, so we changed it to July, so that was one little issue floating out there, when would this all start? And it basically, for each amusement, or skill game you have in your establishment, you would pay a fee that's gonna be determined by council, once the ordinance is passed, then by resolution, council could set the annual fee, and that would be the amount that would be collected.
So question on the first part of what you said, and that is, did I understand you said that Alex suggested we wait to implement this next January?
He just did that after we had the last round of emails,
communication.
yeah.
Okay, so, who would be, collecting those fees? The borough, right?
The borough will be collecting.
So I think, I don't, nothing against Alec and his suggestion, it's a great suggestion, but, I think Taylor would be the better party to speak to how much time it would be needed to set up whatever system it is we need to bill for these. Like, for example, if we can start October 1st, I'm saying sooner the better, as opposed to waiting for revenue, but I don't wanna push that on you and your team too quickly, as Alex stated.
Which is fine, I would just make the observation, if it's an annual fee, what will the fee be for October,
Oh, it's
November,
an annual.
December, and then we're gonna turn around and do it again in January. I think because it's gonna cost folks money, an integration for January makes more sense because, and then you're gonna have to wrestle with the amount.
Oh, yes, because if people could bring new machines in during any year, not just January
Right,
first.
exactly, and the ordinance requires that they notify that they brought those machines in, but we're gonna have to have some ability for, like, staff to know, well, there's a new one here, that we can then reach out and say, you have to pay the fee, whatever that fee is for the year.
Okay.
And when you do that resolution, say, the fee is $150 a year, and then they do it in July, are you prorating the fee, or are they paying the $150? You're gonna have a little bit of debate upon how that, but you gotta get the ordinance in place to allow us to go through that process.
Question. We had a discussion before for, people having, well, like sales that live here, that are taxpayers. We had discussed it before, it was brought up some time ago.
They have
But the people
sales,
that-
did you say?
Right, like people that they have dinners at their house or have dinners and, already have Safe Serve or whatever. We said we weren't gonna charge a person, the taxpayer here, if they were a taxpayer in our borough.
We lowered the fee, the way I understood it.
Yeah, like
If you were-
$35.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
like
remember.
if you were like the food trucks, if you.
Oh, the food trucks.
Like if you
Oh,
wanna
I
sell
know
the
what
food and you're
A taxpayer.
in Mount Union, then instead of a $100 peddler's permit fee for the year, I think yours is 25 or something like that.
So are you referencing that if you're a I'm confused on where this is
Montgomery
lining
Borough,
up.
if you're a taxpayer, if.
Are you saying that you think the ordinance fee should be different
Yeah,
on the skills games for a taxpayer?
No,
I'm
not
confused on what
yeah,
you're
she's
talking about.
somebody that's not from here.
Oh.
She's saying on the food trucks, like if you bring a commercial food truck in and you get a permit of $100, she's saying that if you're a church group selling hamburgers at the festival, your fee should be waived, and then they reduce the fee, say, from 100 to 25. So, and that was what she was raising, it had nothing to do with the skills games, as I understand.
Right.
Oh, there's no
Okay,
relation.
okay, I'm like, wait a minute, we just went completely left, we went from skills games to burgers. I was
Just so, get us back on the same page.
Alright, gotcha. Alright, Nathan?
So,
I know.
if we wait until January of 27 to enact this, would we, chance the state getting their hands on the money first?
We're not doing.
We're gonna enact it now, we're gonna start charging in January, number one. Number two, what the state wants is tax on the amount you make on the machine. They're not looking to tax you just for having the machine sitting there, so that's the difference. So if we enact it, like we could do this for June, then we'll start preparations to start collecting in January.
So we're safe.
Correct.
All right, good enough.
So we can we can do this now.
Correct. We can, if you'd authorize, I can advertise the ordinance for passage in June. And let's make the date, if I'm hearing consensus, collecting the money from January 1st.
I'd like to make that motion that we approve this ordinance and that we make it, the effective date, January, no, don't do that.
The ordinance, the motion's just to advertise.
Advertise, you'll make it final June.
Okay, I hear.
I'd like to make a motion to advertise the ordinance.
Anybody want to second that All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstaining? Motion carried.
You got that word?
Um, schedule committee meeting.
Does this have to do with the committee?
That's you and I working on, which I did a Word doc, you and I are to review. So Cheryl and I discussed, we had mentioned putting meetings together. Cheryl and I actually just connected, if you didn't know, Cheryl was in Greece, so, we haven't had a chance to actually talk about this, but I have a, schedule of the meetings kind of put together. We talked about it briefly with Taylor and Nathan, and now it's just getting it on a piece of paper to see if it works for everybody, to try to combine meetings so we're not having three groups doing three things at different times, but trying to get to the same end result. So next month we'll have it in black and white because we're hoping to get it started. I'll send it out to everyone's email to like review so you have it in advance to see. Any questions?
And Sharon, I know there are a couple of you weren't here, and this is so that we have one meeting on subjects for whether it's the building committee or along with the comprehensive plan subcommittee, so that, because we're attending so many.
Yeah,
meetings.
Nathan filled in.
Okay, perfect.
Wasn't also like every other month?
Yeah.
Instead of every month?
Yep, every other month instead of every month. Yeah. Decorum policy, Nathan?
I sent out an email to, Jenny and Cheryl today to schedule, a meeting between the three of us to begin editing the planning commission version so that it can be adapted to the borough council meetings. That policy, so, should be moving forward.
So we should be reviewing it next month? Okay, non-union bargaining agreement negotiations, we created a small group, myself, Joan, Cheryl, and Ron. We're gonna start working together. I think we are looking to get a meeting on the thing. Ron, we went over this last month, you remember? Ron, you're on there. Sorry, we got you last month before you could change your mind. But anyways, Cheryl sent out, a request for, meeting with us, so I'll send it to you by text. Okay?
Alright, you call me.
Okay, that works. Street park insurance, Taylor?
Yeah, so I reached out to EMC and the adjuster reached back out to me and they gave me a questionnaire and things that we would need to do so our insurance will not skyrocket. She said, no, it's gonna go up a little bit, but, you have to have, I just wanna make sure this is something y'all wanna do for one skate ramp. You have to post a set of rules stating that they must wear a helmet, elbow and knee pads, and wrist supports. No children under 7 will be on a skate ramp without an adult. You also have to post warning, have hazard and danger signs on this, near the skate ramp. Also, they want to know if we will have controlled, closed access to the skate ramp or it will be open at all times. If not, what will the hours be? That will all have to be posted. And there will also need to be a posting of a written maintenance schedule so the citizens know when it is. They also wanna know if it was gonna be higher than 6 feet, who was construction, are they even a legal contractor? And we would need everybody who uses the skate ramp over 18 to sign a liability waiver.
How could we possibly do that?
Do all that.
Well, that's why I was just asking y'all what you want to do.
That last thing is what I meant.
I don't know.
I just wanna say, this escape, you know, and you brought me the diagram when the gentleman was here before. Miss Mary Hancock was president way back, I don't know if you remember.
I do.
And the insurance was, and liability to this borough was astronomical.
Well, this
And
is the way you would
get
avoid that,
a
to do
perfect-
everything I just listed.
I'm telling you.
Any questions on this insurance?
I mean, we faced the same issues back then, like, can we comply with all those things to keep the insurance rates lower? And the answer was, we found it to be difficult
Yes, there's
to
3 years to
comply.
work on it.
So, and I had a feeling if it hadn't stayed the same, it got even worse, so it sounds about what we were asked to do the last time.
Okay.
Thank you for your work, Tara.
Thanks, Taylor. Street sweeping contract, we've got. I guess
So would you have it?
I just got it.
Oh, we just got it.
Yeah, we just got
But
it.
they've already done street sweeping.
Correct.
Was that a trial run?
Oh,
Well, we're gonna have to review this.
Right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We got the contract, I'll send it out.
I can scan it.
You wanna
I
scan it
can
to
do
everyone?
Because you're gonna be one.
Yeah. Cause we're looking for the contract, we didn't have the contract to start paying. All right, new business. Request for approval for the reimbursement to the tax collector.
This is actually a revival of old business. Last month, it was voted not to authorize the borough's contribution, 1/3 contribution for certain expenses of the tax collector. I subsequently did research on the issue. The law is clear that we're to absorb our share of the expenses of postage and printing. I went over all of tax collector Hines' submissions. There was one, $123.67 for our portion of software, which would be the only one that I think doesn't clearly fall within postage. So my conclusion is that we're under legal obligation to reimburse the amount. The total she requested was $1,134.14, and without the $123.67, it would be $1,010.47. The school district, upon its review, I did some calling on that. They paid the whole amount, including the $123.67. The county, I talked to Solicitor Newton, Larry Newton, who's the solicitor for the county. It goes through the assessment office, they go through a list of expenses and they can determine administratively if they have any issue with it. So I haven't heard whether they disapproved any of the portion, but like there's envelopes with, it's pretty straightforward. We're under an obligation to pay this. I just wanna apologize to Heather for not knowing that at the top of my feet at the last meeting, but I think we need to go back and correct it. So you either can pay the $1,010.47 or pay the $1,134.14.
The commissioners did pay their.
I hadn't heard. When I called him last week, they had.
They did not pay the computer.
No, they didn't pay the computer, but they
did the
paid it
software,
for
but they did
stuff that
everything else.
required.
So they did the $1,010.47.
And I will tell you, after I left here, a number of days later, I sent an email, I think it was to Jenny, I don't remember who. And I said, I looked back through all the financial reports for the last 5 years, and I found that we reimbursed the previous person, but I didn't know what it was for, because I wouldn't know that. And the average over those 5 years that Karen received was $1,061, so it's not outside the normal range of what she'd be reimbursed. I just thought I'd make that point.
In your motion, they state whether it's the higher figure or the smaller.
I would like to make a motion that we reimburse the 1134.17. 14, the higher amount, because it's not out of line with what we've done historically. All this, that has the computer software.
Yes.
So we
My
do
The
bad.
smaller figure would be $1,010.47 is the amount without the computer software.
Okay, I'll make the motion that we approve the reimbursement of $1,010.47 for all but the computer software.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstain? parking. Motion carried. Thank you. Request for approval for the Memorial Day Parade.
They already filled out the application, but Tim, you called me about it.
This, the 27th, is it?
25th is Memorial Day.
Yes.
Is it on Memorial Day itself?
Yes.
I'll make that
yes.
motion.
And I think starting date, what, 11 o'clock?
Yes.
Somebody want a second?
I'll second the motion.
Joan?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstaining? Motion carried.
What's the time?
What's the time, Kim?
11.
11.
Or they always say, wait as soon as the bus comes back from Mapleton.
Removal of the outdated street signs.
That's Aaron.
Aaron?
I saw that there was I saw there was an expense that went through for a bunch of signs.
You talking about the street sweeping parking signs? What are you talking about here?
And replacing the old, no parking anytime signs.
I just bought, how many did I just bought some parking signs.
Newer ones.
That was in anticipation of putting some up, yeah. I already bought some signs to replace those signs.
So we're replacing the outdated ones with the new ones that you bought. Is that
The
what's happening?
outdated ones, what do you,
Well, the agenda says outdated street sign, everyone's saying, what does that mean?
that's
I
exactly
heard-
what I'm asking you, what does that mean? What signs do I replace?
We discussed this at the last meeting. I did.
Okay.
Didn't we discuss this at the last meeting?
I know we've been talking
Brown,
about
go.
curbs.
Tim?
If I'm not mistaken, I heard somebody say we were trying to get rid of some of these signs that were no longer
The no,
in
the street
effect.
sweeping
But I
signs.
think we'd have to, like the street sweeping where they're everywhere, they're by ordinance, so we would have to rescind some ordinances to change the signs, or how do you do that?
Alex
You
already
just-
said we don't have an ordinance anymore.
We don't have that one.
Street sweeping
Okay.
ordinance is done.
You just won't be able to enforce something,
Yeah.
if you give somebody a ticket there, you won't
No,
be able to enforce it.
that's what he said at the meeting, he said.
Anyway.
Unless
Yeah,
you
anyways.
make another ordinance.
So I think somebody was trying to clean the town up with signs that are just,
Ron and Steve were working to look at all the signs to figure out what needs taken down. They provided a list. I provided the list to Taylor. I'm trying to think who I sent it to. With all the signs that are cracked. They need taken out or no longer any good for where they're at.
Okay, so
I didn't know that Aaron wasn't at your meeting about the sign. I thought you were just giving me an update of what you guys discussed at the meeting. So that's on me.
Okay.
I was like, oh, she just gave me an update, cool.
Yeah, cause we have some
Yeah,
2-hour
no.
parking limit
Yeah, we-
places that aren't being enforced or aren't applicable apparently
Correct.
anymore, no
Yes.
ordinance.
Yeah.
Yeah, the signs I bought was just regular straight parking, no parking signs.
I can forward you the
I'll
email,
forward it to him.
or Taylor will, with all the signs that they recognize, so you already know where they're at and you go from there.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. Curb painting,
You missed disposal of light.
oh, sorry, disposal of the light poles at the ball field.
Yeah, and I asked for this to be put on here, cause it was at the last meeting and it was said that they'd be gone by April 11th and they're still laying there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trust me, they had a meeting about it on Sunday and they had a fight about them. I asked
I
for
said
an
to
up-
Taylor, why can't we take them out?
Okay, so here, because that's gonna cost us money, here's what we do.
Oh.
We're gonna send them a letter that says, this is our property, these have been laying here for, I don't know how long, but a long time. You must have them removed by such and such a date.
Amen.
Period, end of story.
You wanna write that later, or you write that
Well, you know I'll write it if you
I
need
know.
me to.
Go ahead, I'll-
You want me to write it? No,
I'm serious, I'll put it on
okay,
there,
write it.
no, I'll handle it if you need me to.
Praise the Lord.
Or what? Or what?
Or they will pay a fine to the borough, right? Can we fine them? Can we give them a deadline and say,
You could, you probably at that point,
Or
at
can
that
we
point,
remove
you
them
could
and charge
remove them
them?
and charge them.
that's true, we could do that, right? If they're not removed by such and such a date, we will be making arrangements and you will be responsible for the fee.
Put it
Put it in the letter, yeah, okay. I like the letter for Tammy.
No.
She likes to write letters.
All right, curb painting. On to the next, come on, we might grab
What's his curb painting?
They just bought paint.
You got the paint?
How's the curb painting going?
I haven't started that yet, we're trying to get the mowing caught up and stuff.
Oh, yeah, cause there was rain and stuff anyway. So it's on
The
your
paint,
list.
the paint was purchased, it's ready to be picked up, they just called me last week, so whenever I get a minute, we'll start painting.
That's what I'm talking about. Is there a method to this painting?
Is there a method to it?
Yes.
I think we made it up to like the underpass from the north side. I think we got a couple more side streets there that need done around your house. In that area, there's some more streets that would have to be finished. We'll finish them up first and then continue moving south.
So you're saying there's still some painting you gotta do over in my area?
Yes.
That's interesting, cause it look like you did enough.
No.
Plenty. But okay, I'll see.
No, all the places that have a no parking sign get yellow paint.
On North Shaver where I live, there's yellow, but the school kids used to, their parents park there so they could pick the kids up, cause you can't cross that street, the highway, they're not allowed.
Right.
So they park, so they painted, and that sign should've came down, cause my handicap sign is there, but it shouldn't have been painted, it should be painted white, but it wasn't, so please correct it. Right.
Yeah, if,
I tried to tell them, but that sign was there, should've been taken down, but it wasn't.
right, I mean, you're talking, okay. Whatever.
Let me ask this question, am I understanding that you're painting the curbs?
Yes.
Just the curbs, basically, so there's no.
I'm painting the curbs where there's no parking signs at already currently, because there should be ordinances for those signs that have been installed. So that means there should be a law there that they can enforce the parking there.
Mark?
That's why I'm painting where I'm painting, I'm not just randomly painting places, if there's no parking sign there, I'm painting where the no parking signs are already at.
Down by our church, it's painted yellow for our church.
Which church is that?
Which church?
Back, Mount Hope.
Well, that's
Painted
what-
yellow in front of the whole way around, there's a handicap sign over by Donny's side, and out on Division Street, the whole side, walking down to Rodney's, buildings, up.
Yeah, I just see too much, even the, with Tabernacle, with the Tabernacle.
I
Church.
mean, we barely have a place to park.
That's right.
As it is, number one, you can't park on that street, you know what I mean?
So for me to try, I want y'all to understand, like, for me to try and paint, if there's signs there, I'm painting it, I don't have any other choice.
What if the sign was changed to, make, an allowance for church?
Well, my pastor's coming to me, she's handicapped.
I would tell you that, there is a church on Division Street, and they came here to a meeting, they requested permission, they purchased the sign, and it says, no parking except 7 AM to 11 AM on Sundays, or I don't remember what it says, but there's, so they would have to get their own sign, but they'd have to get approval here where it is.
Well, you should have it, and it should be a white paint for.
It always be there, I'm a member of Mount Hope. They have prayer meeting, like tonight is prayer meeting down there, when I come up the street, the cars were lined up for prayer meeting. When it's a church, now they're changing it, but there's always something going on at our church.
No, she didn't say they were changing it, she was saying what the other church did.
No, I understand what she said, and what I'm saying is they need to go back because it was never painted yellow and by our church. Is what I'm saying, and we always have activities going on at Mount Hope.
And there's no parking sign there.
What, you should be painting it white too for the preacher.
You mean how come it ain't no parking sign?
Well, it just get changed?
It was, the paint's faded, Reverend Owens, there was a white section too for the preachers, for the preachers.
All right,
It's
well,
so old.
Aaron, can you look into down by Mount Hope Church for me and see what it was and what it is and all the things?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I just don't want us to get hung up on the curb painting.
Well, I just think it's too excessive, we're complaining about parking, and then you're gonna take away parking when we need it? That seems to be defeating your purpose.
And I don't think he's taking it away, he's in.
No, I'm talking about what I know in terms of tabernacle
Right.
as a church. You got the whole street yellow. On both sides, actually. Where you supposed to park? You're trying to go to church and there's no parking space. Come on now.
All right, ordinance, codification, cost and timing. Sharon, are you gonna speak on that?
This was Alec that said at the last
Yeah,
meeting, we
he's
no
not
longer
here.
get it for free.
I was under the impression that he's in the process of doing that, of
We-
updating it.
We don't even know how much cost.
No, I think he was investigating.
He's not here, he's gonna look into it.
He was supposed to get a cost for what it would be to update our
So
code.
it's just tabled.
Correct.
Yeah, we're just gonna table that. We'll table it, Sharon. Committee reports, parks.
We had a parks meeting on, I think, the 22nd, and we went over, the program for 2 weeks. We're still in the middle of, the workers and getting back, they'll be getting back to the table to see if they're going to, we're gonna have the same employees that we had last year. The end, I always give a dinner for the kids the last Friday. We went over, I called the VOTEC, the guy sent me a letter, and we have to come to the borough or come up, me and Taylor get together. It has to be an application filled out, and then signed and sent back, and then, someone will come down and go over each part to see what help we can get, what help we can't get, and stuff. Also,
This
I don't
isn't
know if-
related to the summer camp. You're saying this is a separate thing.
Right.
Okay, I'm with you.
I'm just gonna, everything we
Sorry.
discussed. Also, I did reach out to, the outreach program at the prison, and when they come, they'll send a director down, to go over everything, and that person will, reach out to Aaron and go over some things and see what they can do, what they can't do. So that's about where we're at with the parks.
Okay, thank you, Marlene. Streets.
Okay,
Wait.
basically what we went over.
Oh, you're wrong. You should be a motion to say that we're allowed to use these
Well,
dates.
nothing was even discussed about the date.
Okay, well, those are the two
Like,
weeks
nothing was discussed.
that was discussed for the park program this summer.
So 2 weeks.
We're 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All right, can we get a
July 13th through the 17th, July 20th through the 24th.
motion?
And then, could I have a motion, please?
I'll make,
Huh?
I'll make a motion to get it done.
Oh, okay, you're on part.
I'm Cheryl, I'll second that motion.
I'm Cheryl Nelson.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All abstaining? Motion carried. Thank you. Streets.
Okay, it's basically the signs, Aaron, I'm gonna direct this to you, that's the speed limit sign down by the church as you come across the bridge. You probably go by
As
it.
soon as you come up Jefferson, you're coming in
Yeah.
Jefferson on the right?
It's on the right.
Okay.
You guys straighten that up. It looked like they put a tube before and they tried to tie it to it. I don't know who did that,
Okay.
but I told Andy, move it up out of that same hole where it's solid,
Yeah, I'll look at it, yeah.
if you will, and then the stop sign down here at Water Street. You see it's bent over again?
Didn't even.
By
yeah,
Bellows.
I didn't notice it actually. I'll look at that too.
Okay. That's pretty much it. I mean,
Well, didn't somebody just bring up something about, didn't somebody in the middle of a conversation bring up something about the speed limit by Ace Hardware, Applebee's during this meeting?
Yeah,
What was the issue?
with the development of, after the bank, it goes to 35. And that was old before we did all of the McDonald's and True Value. And the True Value, and there's a lot of people would like to see that lowered.
What does that process look like? Is that a state road?
I would say they have to do a study and get approval.
Oh, that's what it was, the study.
I think that should do
And we can, I would imagine we have the accidents to back that one up.
You what?
I could imagine we have the accidents to back that one up.
Taylor, you see
Oh my, yeah.
when you're talking to PennDOT on Water Street, just add to it.
problems with
All right,
finance.
finance,
We met.
did we?
I don't recall.
Yes, we did.
Oh, we
I'm
did.
joking.
I don't know what month it is or where we met.
We met and we're still just figuring out the, finances. There's no problems right now. To be continued.
Thank you. Buildings?
Oh, that would be me.
Yep.
We did not meet since the last meeting, and I was going to not meet until the implementation of the committee combo thing, but it sounds like that will be down the road somewhere. So it sounds like I should schedule a building committee meeting. I will tell you that I just learned this week, from a couple of people on Borough Council, that there's an issue at the police station that I think needs to be handled more timely than waiting for another meeting. And so I already sent an email, to obtain information about how to address that in the short term and the long term. And as soon as I get that information, I'll share that. But that means I need to schedule a building committee meeting is the point of all that conversation.
Okay. Thank you, Cheryl. Personnel?
We just, our people, they didn't show up. Oh my God. My schedule.
No show.
No show.
We waited.
Personnel?
Under the personnel, Mike is,
He left, he had to go to work.
Well, we had a, just a general personnel meeting, and but before we had discussed, we got a lot of documents together. We're trying to put together, policies and procedures for all the employees. We got the union contract, we're gonna work with the police and their agreements, the employees and their agreement. I got a copy of, rules, policies, and procedures for both police and, employees. We're gonna review all the data and put together one manual so that we can have them for all the employees, period. It's a long time overdue. We also, had discussed, and this is probably the third one, we had discussed, going back and reviewing Taylor's salary, and, I made a recommendation to bring Taylor's salary to $21 an hour.
Okay, I don't think that gets discussed
I
here
don't
without
Well,
an
I'm just
executive
asking, we should
session.
be
I understood we were gonna do an evaluation.
We can't wait.
Didn't I understand we were
Yeah,
doing
we
an
have,
evaluation?
we have to do her evaluation.
Yeah.
We said
That comes first.
June, we would have it done by the end of June, and discuss in an executive session an increase in her pay. Yeah. I know you're going away, so.
She already makes more than that, that's why I didn't do.
Well, yeah, part of the con.
So we were giving a decrease.
We're-
Bye.
See ya.
Ordinance?
Yeah, we met day last week. We're working on two, and both of them that we're working on are not easy ones or fast ones to do. One is the skill machine. I don't like to call it tax, I like to call it a yearly registration. And the other one is the requirements for people to build. They need to be changed. I think they need to be changed, but we have to figure out what is the best way to do it. Because if there was a house that was there and it gets torn down because of blight or whatever, I think another one should be able to go up there. Leaving all these lots empty is doing nothing but costing the borough money for taxes that we should be getting on houses.
I have two thoughts. One is, I didn't know you had a meeting. There's supposed to be a posting and it's supposed to be open to the public. So I just wanna make sure you know that for going forward.
I would like to point out that the building too, that's behind the police station, kinda, that was left a green space because it was tore down with grant money, and the borough had the option, what they wanted to do with the space, you have to make that decision when it was taken down, and they chose to have it as green space, so that is why that is the way that it is.
No, I mean about the setbacks.
You're on the setback.
Oh, you mean like changing the zoning?
Code setbacks.
I thought she said blighted houses torn
Yeah,
down.
well,
She said, yeah, to be able to build on those same lots.
She meant to say
Yeah.
that.
Oh, gotcha.
So it's being worked on, nothing has been written up or anything yet.
Oh, there was a draft.
Yeah.
I was asked to do a draft, Dwight was on an ad hoc committee of some sort that included other people, and council generally authorized them to give us recommendations. I then took them, made that ordinance change for the zoning ordinance, and that was meant to be a starting point for all of you to discuss how you wanna make changes in regard to putting, new housing structures on old lots that don't fit our ordinance.
And it came to the planning commission, and the planning commission
Made- correct.
made recommendations
recommendations.
and sent that letter to, too many
Taylor.
letters. Yeah.
So, and they need to absorb that and get recommendations back, so we know what that final product may look like. Once that's done, we have to go back and have a public hearing. It has to go to the Huntington County Planning Committee, and we'll send it back to our Borough Planning Commission, and then you would vote on the ordinance once the changes are final, so.
Nathan?
So I wanna clarify then, so the setback ordinance is not the property or the responsibility of the ordinance committee?
Well, that's where it ended up. I thought that's what you guys are looking at.
Yeah.
So yes, I think it is the ordinance committee.
All right, okay.
But the planning commission's obligated to
Yeah, it has to go through.
review it.
They gave you
We
preliminary,
gave you some preliminary
which you may
input.
wanna look at in your discussions, correct? Yeah.
I have a question, so how does the rebuttal letter, the questions that she asked, or the planning commission asked, who answers?
Well, the ordinance committee can make its recommendations, and then council's gonna I'll eventually get it and have to make the changes that are recommended, and then it's gonna circulate to council for their saying, yeah, we're on board with this, so, that's kinda how it works.
All right, everybody good?
So the ordinance committee's the next,
Yes, I think that's
Okay,
the
there you go.
appropriate place for it to be.
Safety?
Want to talk about the police cruiser? The policeman came in tonight and talked more about it. In my opinion, I think we should go with the Chevy instead of the Dodge because of the engine issues.
which one's a Durango and which one's a Tahoe?
Tahoe's Durango.
Oh,
Chevy.
sorry.
Like they have
Tahoe's
now.
more expensive.
Yeah, it's more expensive, but I think it's more durable. That's all I have.
For some safety, as a council person, as a resident of this community, I'm gonna need to talk to y'all about a ticket I got for a place I've been parking since 1970. And I get a ticket, with a whole lot of, negativity behind it, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
Cause it's not sitting well with me, I want you to know that.
Okay.
So does she come to the next meeting? Or
Did they make
when is the next meeting?
He said you're welcome to,
But when are the meeting?
Well, let me know, so I would go
Well,
there.
I have
I
a
just realized I
scheduled
brought
meeting.
my calendar, you can make it remind us tonight.
What?
Tell me when you can meet.
for 5 seconds. Like I'm not gonna waste my time with this child stuff. I got a 5-year-old at home I could be with. Planning commission report?
Okay, you have a copy of it. The tax office conditional use hearing is coming up, and the planning commission, reviewed the request and sent a letter of their input for recommendations, and I assume that will be at the hearing, Larry?
Correct.
Okay, and that's on May 14th, right? Okay. The Comprehensive Plan Implementation Steering Committee's next meeting is May 27th at 4 p.m. And we'll go ahead and have that since that other thing won't be merged yet. The DCED CTAP pilot program, We had our kickoff meeting, with the two DCED representatives on April 16th, and they will begin their work now, which will include surveys of downtown businesses. And then the other thing was the advertising posting of the open seat on the planning commission. I wasn't clear if that, I know it got posted on Facebook, I saw it, but I understood from the meeting a year or so ago, that it has to be advertised as well.
Well, I checked with Larry, and
The question is, does it legally have to be advertised? No. Okay, if the policy of council is to advertise it, that's the policy of council. And if I recall, that was the discussion back when the planning commission made a recommendation and council rejected it because they hadn't sought other people. If that's, so does the law require that? No. If someone comes up and says, I wanna be on the planning commission, you can appoint them on the agenda. So it's not a legal requirement, but that's been the policy of council.
That's been the practice.
The
That's
practice.
what they requested a year or so
Correct.
ago.
So I just wanna.
I advertised on Facebook.
I'm sorry?
I advertised on Facebook.
Right, so my question is, if that's the policy, then do we have to put it in, are we putting it in a newspaper, or is this council, which is different than last year's council, and by some people, are we requesting to make an amendment to our policy/practice and not require it to be advertised in the Daily News? That's a question for this council.
I don't know why we would change it if that.
Facebook's free.
I don't know either, I'm asking because it didn't get advertised.
Aside from the cost.
That's the cost, yeah. So are we gonna advertise it?
It's only a committee, issue, so why we gotta go through all that money just to have someone on a committee? And I know somebody who wants to take a look at this committee.
Well, it was on Facebook, no one wrote me a letter yet.
I'll have her give you that.
I would just point out, I am 69 years old, I actually still read the newspaper. So, but the vast majority of the population does not, so we're spending $100 to put an ad in that no one looks at, and I just think that that rule needs to be amended where you
I agree.
outreach by Facebook or something out, but it doesn't have to be us spending $150 to get a no one responding, so.
I agree.
I agree with that as well.
So if you're inclined, that council can amend the whole rule.
I'd like to make a motion that we advertise the planning commission openings via Facebook and our borough website, if that's even active, or when it's active, and that we not go through the expense of advertising in the Daily News. That's my motion.
And I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstaining? Motion carried. Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Maintenance report?
You guys have my report, if you have any questions.
Anyone have any questions on the maintenance report? Take that as thank you.
I thank you for what you did at the parks with the mulch and the borders and.
Yeah, it turned out nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And for the tour.
And for
Oh,
the
yeah.
tour, exactly.
Got time.
Like before.
Solicitors report?
I just wanted to make sure everyone, like, there was some final changes to the manager's ordinance, when Cheryl went back. It's gonna be advertised for final passage in June, and I'll do a joint notice with that and the skills games ordinance, so there'll be two of them in one ad, so you'll pass both ordinances, or vote on both ordinances in June meeting, so.
Thank you.
And that's all I have to report.
Okay, borough secretary report?
Again, I brought the calendar before you guys leave. Since we didn't do the schedule yet, I would like some kind of heads up if you're gonna have any meetings throughout the rest of this week or next week, if possible. For grants, I did not get the Act 13 grant for the playground equipment. Actually, the ball field got it to redo the dugout, but, I did, Lori from the planning department, gave me two other grant opportunities that I'm working on. One is and neither of them require a match, so I didn't ask you, I'm just doing it. Sorry, you can tell me no if you want me to stop, but the first grant is a Walmart grant. They give you up to $5,000 towards the playground. And the other grant is a Sheets grant that does not have a cap for playground. We need new playground equipment, so I felt like it was necessary to go ahead and just start working on those.
Is this a particular playground or all the playgrounds?
Well, since we didn't get the playground equipment at the ball field, I figured we could do the Sheets one there because of one piece of playground equipment that has like the slides and all that stuff, they start around 60,000. So since this doesn't have a cap, I figured this would be the opportunity to try to get something nice there and get out instead of just keep maintaining the same broken piece. For the Walmart grant, I thought it would be smart to get playground equipment put back down at Rogers Newman, since they're, does anybody disagree?
I think we should make I mean, I think it should be formal for her to do grants, and we make a motion. But that's my opinion. But I think that's him.
I had a question.
Okay.
What about the dugouts?
So they got grant money from Act 13 to redo the dugouts at the Little League Field.
Okay, so that was approved.
Yes.
We didn't get it.
Well, Mountain Borough gets it. It's, yeah.
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 I'd be happy to make a motion that Taylor be granted approval to apply for both the Sheets and the Walmart grant that require no match for the reasons mentioned.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All abstaining? Motion carried.
I also did submit the grant, the CDBG application for the fire hydrant. That's it.
Tim wanted a minute of our time. I know we're at the end and everyone's ready, but, okay.
No, I didn't want to say, Mr. Fortson, touched base with me this week, and I know it's far off, but the 7th annual Heartland Festival coming up August 15th, so don't forget about it. And the other thing is Fox and Pizza. They're awesome people, make them feel welcome. I met with Kevin, they're really nice people so far. I liked it, so.
Yeah, food's good.
Food's good.
Yeah,
I haven't had it yet.
I will tell you, I was walking by and they were just leaving, and he said they are getting so many orders, they're having trouble keeping up, and they don't even have advertising that yet.
Wow.
That's awesome, yeah.
Meeting's adjourned. Oh, sorry, Tim, what do you need? Sorry, we knew the guests at the beginning.
Parks for the rec program. We just money to buy something. Call me.
Do you want me to like? Hey, can we have like 5 seconds for Mr. Barrett?
Just one thing, tomorrow is the National Day of Prayers. This is nationwide, not just in county. And it's being singing hymn in all generations for the theme this year. And glorified God organization, singing hymn in all generations. There are 2 services. One at the courthouse at noon time, if you can go, form a circle and what a prayer. And then there's one at the Presbyterian Church at 6 o'clock, so we'll have a worship service there. Praying for our government and our families and so forth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
because we can't afford to give you
You wanna eat me? Okay, don't worry. Get a meeting before the schedule for me and whoever else. Well, that was before the 12th, because she's gonna go. We didn't got no time. We got Friday or Monday. Monday's the 11th. Should be able to do it on it. If you can't, it's
Seriously, if you need $100 or something, come on. I'll get you.
I'm gonna work it out. Annie, how are you?
What'd you say?
I ain't buying it.